evening, everybody. My name is Bella, and I am here for Planet Pathlings. I am your Wednesday host, and yes, I'm a little late because I have been caught up in all of my Yule festivities that we've been going on, and I'm trying to get all of my stuff prepared so that I can start my festivities this weekend. So this week on Planet Pathlings, each of us have taken on 4 main areas of conversation, and they include first Yule as a witch. Have any of your traditions changed from then to now? Celebrating with your non-pagan family, and do you do spells on the holidays or sabbats, or simply give honor and thanks? So each of us also had an individual topic as well, and mine was how Yule became Christmas. So I'm going to start with the 4 main areas of conversation, and I've written it down so that I wouldn't forget and so that I could let it flow a little easier. So as long as I can remember, I've been an eclectic solitary witch. I've had the leeway to forge my path in my own unique way with little influence from group conventions and strong opinionated people who would try to force the world around them to their own beliefs and thoughts. I have never been a follower, although I've tried to be at times. I really wanted at times to blindly follow, listen, do, as someone else had already laid it out. But my curious thinking and creative connecting ability always made me challenge the status quo. So what was my path in the beginning? When did I first see myself as a witch, and when did I turn Christmas into Yule? I cannot pinpoint that date and time, for it doesn't really exist. From my earliest memories of school, I was researching independently anything that caught my fancy. So like most young children, Christmas was a magical time of the year. Because of this, I was fascinated with all the traditions I knew, and even more so with the ones I didn't know. Being in school in the 60s, we were in some ways more liberal and in some ways more conservative teaching environment. First, we could have discussions on religion in the actual classroom. There was no internet only card catalogs in the libraries that could still be censored though. And we were led in pledges of allegiance and songs to honor our country. I even remember prayer in school. Things that today liberals and pagans alike would bristle about today. The 60s were volatile, with the Vietnam, hippies, drugs, rock and roll, and Madeleine O'Hare, the atheist politician who lived in Texas. And she was always rearing her head around Texas cities, but she was on the national stage. But with all of this, I remember in my school sharing the origins of the holidays with us. I remember tolerance. I remember exploring other faiths when we had classmates that came from different backgrounds. I remember and I incorporated all of this into my Christmas and Yule traditions. So for me, there was not a time that stands out, only a slow morphing of my ideas and thoughts as I decorate and prepare the season of giving. My progression into Yule flowed so gently and easily as the turning of the wheel does naturally. I first learned in school that the tradition so long believed to be Christmas today has always had a deeper history and lore tied to the ancient practices of the past. In my late teens and early 20s was when the Christian churches lost their tyrannical hold on me. This is not to say, however, that I threw out the window everything to do with Christ and his teachings. Do I believe Christ is the Son of God? Yes, as I do believe we all are the sons and daughters of the God and Goddess. Do I believe you can find enlightenment in the teachings of Christ? Yes, I do. I believe that you can find enlightenment with most of the religions. Buddhist, Judaism, the Divine Mother, Muslim, Druids, Wiccans, ceremonial magic, Hinduism, Native American, Shamitic, Celtic, and so on. I believe, however, that one path is harder to make straight-line progress to the end goal of enlightenment, and that is the zigzag path of Jacob's ladder or the tree of life gets you more quickly moving forward. As I set up my tree in my living room, it is symbolic of the eternal turning of the wheel. Through death and brings life, again through the dark the light shall return. As I decorate my tree, I place the ornaments of protection, love, hope, dreams, prosperity, and blessings. A flood of memories comes to me as I place pieces of my past on my tree. Departed loved ones' ornaments from childhood trees, ornaments of my children, and the bittersweet memories of them all around my tree still. Ornaments for each of my grandchildren, my legacy continues on in the world. They renew the joy, laughter, and innocence of the season. My tree is filled with every pet we had and every missing family member. I decorate my tree with the whimsy and innocence of a child, for to me it is a magical statement of my belief in the bright magical new year full of love, hope, renewal. And as the wheel turns, so do my family and friends grow and blossom. Some pass, but the memories hold fast, and I place them in my tree. As my family gathers celebrating the season, I have never had issue with the differences of religious preference. Love of family and friends trumps any differing opinions on beliefs. Yes, there is the occasional zealot that comes along, but we as a family have tamed them into submission about preaching at us and did it with love, or the occasional bite to remind them that we come together as a family in these holidays because of love of clan and kin. Religion is for churches. Practices and rituals are for personal experience. While it is wonderful to have a group blessing, ritual, prayer, or practice, it is not necessary for me. And doesn't negate me doing my own private rituals for the season. My rituals include solstice, full or new moon closest to the New Year's Eve and day. As far as spell work on Sabbat, sometimes yes and sometimes no. I am a believer in using the energy tides in my workings. Each day brings unique combinations of particular work. Sometimes I have had the time to work it out, and sometimes not. Solstice has its unique aspects as the sun has hit its lowest energetic point, but from here on till midsummer it will be growing in strength. It is a time for personal growth, work, and any work associated with the growing power of the sun. Your work at this time will grow until it hits its peak and pinnacle in midsummer. There is a reason for the New Year resolutions. Where people fall short, at least in my belief, is that they make no real thought-out work to ensure that the more powerful results in these resolutions. Treat them as magic spell work and see the difference that can make in your results. Sabbats all have major themes of power running through them. Using this in your spellcraft will only ignite more powerful work into your practice. But I do not think you have to do spell work. And if you just want to honor the god and goddess, or just want to reflect on your family and friends or yourself, it all works just fine. Stress is unfortunately at a high at this time of the year, and depression is particularly rampant too. So if your plate is too full or you're suffering from depression, forget what others tell you is a must at this time, and try to nurture yourself through, and remember, this is the beginning of this first spark of hope. Light and love is returning. Let the season heal, nurture you through. Love, light, and your blessings to all. I'll be back in a little bit with my thoughts on how Yule became Christmas. Y'all have a blessed Yule. Thanks.